Alrighty guys, for those coming through the door, please continue to walk all the way down. Once you see that people are stopping, please find your spot on the window side of this catwalk. I ask that you please keep this back wall cleared. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, we do have a few guidelines to go over. Please keep your voices to a whisper, just because you are quite literally rubbing shoulders with the person next to you. So even if you are whispering, the person can probably hear our conversations. But that is just to be respectful of those around us. If you don't want to hear the presentation, that's fine. But maybe the person next to you does. So give me a thumbs up if everyone understands. I know I have more than like 5 people in this group. Give me a thumbs up if everyone understands. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Alrighty, guys. Welcome to Building 9, or what members of the media have referred to as the giant space toy box of your dreams. Since the 1980s, every NASA astronaut has walked the floors of this building in preparation for their next mission. Their primary goal is for updating hardware for our current space station mission, as well as preparing for the next generation of spaceflight. Now, the large white and gray cylinders on the far right side of the facility, under the American flag, are full-scale mock-ups of the International Space Station modules. The modules that you see are a mixture of low, medium, and high fidelity mock-ups. They are used to train the astronauts that will travel to the ISS in basic procedure and system familiarization. To understand the sheer size of the ISS, it measures about 356 feet or 109 meters, and it is roughly as long as an American football field. The ISS is traveling around the Earth so fast that in one 24-hour period, it revolves around the Earth 16 times. The primary goal of the ISS is to facilitate science experiments that cannot be done here on Earth. The station has had many scientific breakthroughs throughout its 24 years in orbit, like innovation in water filtration and purification systems that allow the station to recycle 93% of water on board, and fundamental disease research on cancer, asthma, heart disease, and other medical conditions. The ISS is a global partnership of 15 different countries and 5 space agencies, which help guarantee that the discoveries made in orbit will be shared throughout the world. They have been working for over 20 years to create the most prominent international peacetime collaboration in history. Now, if you look at the gray capsule that is in front of the ISS module with the mission patches, you will see the Russian Soyuz. This capsule is used for astronauts, cosmonauts, and supplies that travel to and from the ISS. NASA relied on the Russian Soyuz as the only mode of transportation to and from the ISS after the decommissioning of the Space Shuttle program in 2011. That is until the launch of the SpaceX rockets in 2020 that this started NASA's Commercial Crew Program. NASA's idea behind the Commercial Crew Program was to allow private companies like SpaceX, Boeing, Sierra Nevada, and others to collaborate in missions to the ISS. This allows NASA the ability to have more time to focus on developing new spacecrafts that will allow us to travel back to the moon and eventually to Mars. Now, the next step in the world of space exploration is the Artemis program. The Artemis missions will help take humans back to the surface of the moon as close as 2026, and it will send them further into space than ever before. The program will give us valuable information that will help us succeed in our mission of reaching the surface of Mars. Because these missions are huge collaborative efforts for so many countries, NASA wanted to create a set of principles that all parties could abide by. These principles are called the Artemis Accords. Please take any last-minute pictures, and we will follow me to the second half of the building. Before we do head over though, my first half of the group, so probably up until the gentleman in the cowboy hat, you guys will not be able to see the three things that I'm going to talk about, just because the black scaffolding will be in your line of sight. But I will talk about them, and as we walk down, you guys can take pictures, and that way you know what I am going to talk about. We'll be talking about the blue H-like structure with the SDTS on the side. To the right of it, you will see a silver capsule. That is the Orion capsule. We will be talking about that as well. And in front of the Alrighty guys, in the very back, give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Awesome. Alright, if you look to the back wall to the right of the blue H-like structure, you will see a silver capsule. That is the Orion command module. This is a capsule that was specifically designed to take humans back to the moon as well as into deep space. Engineers and astronauts have been doing extensive training and research to prepare Orion for its first crewed mission scheduled in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a friendly reminder to keep your voices to a whisper. Unfortunately, if I can hear you up at the front, that is not a whisper. Now, the launch of the Artemis 1 in November of 2022 was an uncrewed but successful mission that taught us that Orion could complete the enormous goals it was built to achieve. Orion is a much larger capsule compared to the Apollo mission capsules, and it can carry up to 4 astronauts. Now, if you look in front of the Orion command module, you will see a white tube-like structure with blue stairs leading to a circular opening. This mock-up is part of the lunar orbital platform called Gateway, built by Northrop Grumman. Gateway is another international partnership project that will allow astronauts the ability to have a home away from home in lunar orbit. Think of Gateway as another ISS, but instead of orbiting the Earth, it will orbit the Moon. Gateway is a critical part of the Artemis program. When completed, it will establish a permanent human presence in lunar orbit. Materials from the Moon will be transformed into power for Gateway's operations, which will allow astronauts to stay in lunar orbit for up to 30 days or more. This efficiency will make it possible for astronauts aboard Gateway to organize extended missions to the lunar surface and eventually allow Gateway to serve as a midway refueling point for future missions to Mars. Now, if you see the blue H-like structure along the back of the wall, that is the 6 degrees of freedom dynamics test systems, or the SDTS. The SDTS was originally designed to simulate the relative dynamics of docking or connecting things in space. This system uses real-time applications to get the most accurate information on mating and docking processes. That concludes our tour to the astronaut training facility. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and learned a bit more about the scientific marvels being developed here at Johnson Space Center. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask once I am downstairs, and I will do my best to answer them. At this time, thank you for your time and attention, and you can follow me back downstairs and back to the tram.